Again to LFCPX. We have a couple of minutes, so I want to take this opportunity. Since Final Cut Pro 10 has been released, I've gotten several emails asking me my opinion of Final Cut Pro 10, and I have yet to respond publicly, and I want to respond publicly tonight. And my public response to this, it doesn't matter what I think. And I say that with all due respect to the question that anybody asks me, what do you think about Final Cut Pro 10? It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what Steve Cantor thinks. It doesn't matter what any of these people at this table thinks. It doesn't matter about any of the pundits who are talking about Final Cut Pro 10. Whether they like it or dislike it, it doesn't matter what they think. It matters what you think. So that brings up the question, how many here are actually working with Final Cut Pro 10? Not playing with Final Cut Pro 10, but actually working with Final Cut Pro 10. So that's about just a handful. How many of you expect to buy it? Let's talk in the lobby about why some of you will buy it. How many of you have been impacted severely by by Apple's decision to EOL Final Cut Pro 7? In other words, it's dead now. How many of you are cutting feature films, narrative feature films? Anybody? Okay. This is difficult times, and to go beyond my pat answer of it doesn't matter what I think about Final Cut 7. I understand the frustrations and the emotions a lot of you are going through who have built the last 10 years of your lives around this particular application, and how much has impacted you, and it probably will impact you financially. I don't know why Apple did what they did. I don't have any relationship with Apple at all, pretty much. It's they've really never, they talk to me, but that's pretty much our relationship. And so I don't know anything beyond what you know. I do know that third-party developers are jumping all over this particular application like white on rice. I do think that Apple has given these third-party developers the opportunity to fix what is missing. What I do see in Final Cut Pro 10 is that it is an incomplete application, but it may be complete sooner than we think. I think a lot of this complaining and bitching is a lot of testosterone. It looks like iMovie, therefore I will not use it. But I like the idea of having the balls to make change. The only advice I can give to you, for those of you who are about to purchase Final Cut Pro 10, is don't try to make it work like Final Cut Pro 7. It just is too different. If you're an Avid editor coming to Final Cut, don't try to make it work like Avid. That's why they wrote all those books. It is a completely different application, so please just treat it as a completely different application. Read the manual cover to cover and follow the instructions, and you won't get frustrated. The reason a lot of people are dismissing this as a toy is because they get frustrated in the first 30 minutes because they try to make it work like the Final Cut 7. It just doesn't work that way. There's a lot of potential here, and I can almost assure you within a year, we might have an application that's going to work. For lack of a better term. And I'm not being negative here. I'm not being negative here. I'm not jumping on the hate bandwagon here. I think this application has some potential. So LFCPX will spend some time on this. If it comes to pass that the users don't like it, we will move on. And LFCPX has always been about the craft of editing, and we're going to continue to do that. But for the next few months, we're going to concentrate, and we're going to tell you what Final Cut Pro 10 can do. There's nothing more boring than sitting up here and saying what it can't do. So for the next few months, we're going to talk about what it can do. And as a community, and as a community of developers, and as a community of users, I think we can actually make this thing a pretty damn good tool for the world. And that's what we were going to try to do. If it doesn't work, fine. Because we really don't give a damn what tool you use. Whatever tool you use that works for you that's it.